Okay, this started. Yeah. So this conversation just goes from one thing to another. You can always interrupt and ask for something about something that we already talked about. So you can always stop me and ask something. We talked about safety so far. Yeah. So safety within. Yeah.
What do you think about doubts?
Doubts. Yeah. Self-doubt.
Self-doubts, and so then it goes into the relationship.
Yeah. Can you give an example so we talk directly from that?
Taking choices is so hard for me.
Oh, yeah. Like making decisions?
Yes.
Okay.
And so after I have the mental.
Yeah.
Talking, and I don't feel if it's my intuition or if it's my mental.
Yes.
So I adapt.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
About the connection in the relationship.
So is this the voice of my intuition telling me something? Is it the voice of my fear? Mm-hmm. Is there really something in the relationship, or is it all me? Yeah. Yeah. This is a good question. Yeah. Yeah, I think to really know where this is coming from, we need to be very attuned to ourselves. And usually that's the outcome of a lot of healing. Like these days, it's become easier for me to see where it's coming from. But I've been healing, and I've been a meditator for 20 years, healing for 10 years with my mentors and teachers. And I've been giving this work to people for 10 years. So I've really prioritized all this in my life, like top priority. Healing and awakening and self-care and getting in touch with my emotions. And it's become a lot easier to see what's really happening. But maybe I'll give you a few ideas. Let's say if the fear is coming and it's really strong, like immediate, strong, sudden, that's usually the sign that it's coming from the child in us. Because the wounded, we all have a child in us, wounded child in us. This is called inner child in this kind of work. The child in us is where our deepest fears originate from. Because we were scared as children. And all other wounding, all other fear, layer after layer in our whole lives, all this wounding comes on top of this early wounding from childhood. So when something happens in my relationship, and if I feel reactive, sudden and big emotion, then I take a moment to see that it's probably coming from the child in me. That means whatever is happening, maybe there is really something about the relationship, right? That could be possible. But the impact of that is coming and it's hitting me all the way here, deep down. So then I need to look at my earlier wounds and see maybe what's happening with my partner in this moment feels like something that happened in my childhood, or the way that my mom used to treat me when I was 10 years old, or the way that maybe a teacher at school treated me when I was 12. So these are some ways that we can make sense of what we feel. And we can work on it. And maybe you journal, maybe you do a therapy session with somebody, maybe you go for a walk, you go for yoga, and then you feel more settled. And then, now that you worked on it, you see what part of it is yours, really in the personal, and what part of it is about the dynamic with your partner, for example. And then, if there is something to address in the relationship, this becomes easier now, because you're not reacting. Because sometimes something needs to be addressed still in the relationship. Does that make sense? Yeah. So
it takes a very long time to see where does it come.
Yeah, it takes a long time in the beginning, but more and more, it's quicker and quicker and quicker. Just like learning anything, like learning an instrument, learning a new language. We are learning the language of our souls and of our hearts. And that's a lot of learning, not because it's something different or special or whatever. It's because this is the most important learning that none of us ever did. Because no one's talking about it. No one's showing us. This is the most important learning in life. And we are learning all kinds of other stuff that we will never use. That's the whole education system pretty much everywhere in the world. Yeah. So the world is extremely upside down, and a lot of things need to change. So because we haven't learned so much that we should have learned, we end up here. Yeah. Just like in the past 20 years, I've ended up in spiritual practice, one retreat after another, after another, after another. One teacher, one mentor after another, one book after another. So we have a lot of learning to do. And this learning is not so intellectual. It's actually learning in the body. It's experiential, body-based, soul-based learning. Yeah? And then making decisions becomes easier. Yeah. So another thing I want to say about making decisions is yang energy. By yang, I mean Y-A-N-G. In Chinese philosophy, yin and yang. Yang energy is what is usually called the masculine. But I don't like using the words masculine and feminine because it has become very confusing for the whole fucking world, especially for spiritual people. Instead, I think it's better to say yin and yang, and it's good that these words are not even English. So it's less likely for us to get really confused about it. So yang energy is like a sword. It cuts through, and it commits, and it leads. And it says, no, I don't want this, I want that. That's yang energy. Yang energy is the energy of decision making. Yang energy is if you guys have ever seen the wooden swords in Aikido, the sword, you hold it like this, it points to the hara. Because the core, the source of the sword is the power center. This is a power energy. Here is who I am and what I want. Right? A lot of men embody this energy more easily because of social conditioning and gender conditioning than a lot of women. But a lot of men embody this energy in very toxic ways as well. So everything that comes that I say as a positive has a shadow side. Right? So it doesn't mean men are better at this than women. Men use their power aggressively much more commonly than women. So just being empowered is not enough. That's why us men have been destroying the planet and everything with it. Just being powerful creates the world that we have today, which is a lot of shit and a lot of wars, even in 2025. And I think everybody's afraid of AI, but I think AI might finally save us from ourselves because we have become so stupid. We have become so mechanical. We are the robots that we are afraid of. We have become robotic. We don't know our hearts anymore, especially us men. We don't know. We are not connected. We are numb. We know only how to kill each other and die in battlefields. What? What for? The country? Really? It's all so absurd. So let's go back to yang energy. So you can practice yang energy. One thing you can do about this, outside of healing, is martial arts. Do you like martial arts? Like kickboxing, aikido, jiu-jitsu? Because in martial arts, that's yang energy. Yeah. For example, it's all connected. Our healing and the way our bodies move, it's all connected. Yeah. And yin energy is heart-centeredness. Being heart-centered, being soft and tender. A lot of women are more heart-centered by birth and through social conditioning. A lot of women remain heart-centered and softer and tender than a lot of men. I'm generalizing here. But generalizations exist for a reason. So the work for a lot of men is to connect with the heart. So us men, we need to learn so much yin so that our power can be yin informed. Our yang can be yin connected. For a lot of women, your yin, your tenderness, compassion, love, needs to be connected with healthy power. That's the more difficult step. Yeah, you agree. Yeah? Is there anything you'd like to share about this?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh my
I can see you agreeing about, yeah.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I just want to wait for her to finish, yeah.
I think, yeah, there's just so much, like within the spiritual community space, like pressure to come into inner union. Right?
Inner union, yeah.
And
The sacred intimacy inside.
yeah, I think I'm just like, I just don't know what that. I think I can feel like, oh my gosh, this desire that I feel like I have for this relationship, like it's in me, it's been in me, like it's been awakened. I feel like in me the last few years, but then I'm like, what even is it? If it does come, am I even gonna want it? It's kind of this like elusive kind of thing. Of, is this imaginary? Is this real? Is this just love that I'm like yearning for and pining for and wanting? But it's not like real. Like, or is it?
Where is it?
Or is it real?
In the dating world, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think with men too, it's like, have you really faced your shadow, or is that your ego speaking?
Yeah.
How much have you really faced?
It's mostly the ego. And even the ego, I think we need to have mercy. That's why I really love to use the words inner child, the wounded child in us. It's really the wounded child in us, right? It's the wounded child in me that suddenly gets super excited about a woman, and if I'm rejected, then goes into pieces like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. That's the child in us. The child in us lives in a very dramatic world. But this child in us really needs our compassion. It's not something we can get rid of. That is impossible. Just like the sky cannot get rid of the clouds. But for as long as I'm the sky, and whatever comes and goes, emotions, whatever, I perceive them as the clouds, there's no problem. Then I can extend myself and get to know the clouds. For as long as I don't forget that I'm the sky. This is profound. Right? This is a spiritual teaching. The sky and the clouds. Yeah. So within the spaciousness of I, right? Me, I, everything comes and goes. Everything. Thoughts and emotions come and go within the space that I am. We call that presence. We call that being. We call that the infinite openness of our consciousness, maybe. Yeah. But dating is tough. Dating is tough. And in modern world today, right, we are also very sexually liberated. That also has a very strong shadow. But that has made dating very complicated. Because everything is much more accessible. And we have the illusion that we can go forever, continuously changing partners. This one didn't work out, tomorrow that, especially in a place like Ubud, right? This is like the mecca of casual dating. And this can have a beautiful side. It depends on how we approach it. But it has a very dangerous side as well. That maybe we are jumping into it without knowing what we want. And maybe we are saying yes too much, right? Whatever comes along. Or maybe we are so completely closed. So there's a lot to explore about these things. Yeah. Modern culture has a very thick shadow. Yeah. A lot of things have progressed, but so much has gone backwards. Even in the name of liberation. Yeah.
It's so interesting to be able to see the shadow and within that.
Yes.
Because it's, I'm learning hard way with that.
Yeah.
At least having my eyes be open to
Exactly. And
see how other people live, or it's interesting.
There's nothing like suffering to help us mature, right? I mean, I'm fully convinced that pain and suffering, there's profound purpose to them. It's not like an error in the system. It's not like God's mistake that we suffer. No, it's through the suffering that we learn, through the suffering that we grow. And I'm not saying that let's suffer endlessly for no reason. I'm not saying that. But our suffering has within it already a beauty. And if we open ourselves to it, it allows us to mature and ripen and go all the way into love of self, into feeling safe within. And at that point, relationship happens or doesn't happen is still fine. Right? Yeah. Any questions? Yeah.
So I came from China, so I'm very interested in about India.
Okay, yeah.
What was the difference between the decision about
Decision making? Yes, decision making is the yang energy. Y-N-G. Yeah.
So what about the yin energy?
Yin is softening. Let's say I close my eyes and I just stay with my breath and letting the body soften. The mind, I let it go. And I'm softening. This is a yin practice.
So it's not about the decision.
It's about connecting with self. And the healthiest decisions can come from yin self-connection. If I don't have yin self-connection, I could have my sword chopping everything, but I'll be going nowhere. Yeah, right? So just to make a decision, there's nothing beautiful about it. Where is it coming from? Where is my decision coming from, really? Is it the child in me making a decision out of agitation and hunger and greed, whatever? Or is it who I truly am, my core self, my heart, my soul, who is making the decision? Yeah. So yin is softening, connecting emotions, softening, and like, now I feel. That's yin. And then with that, I also need to act. And the action is yang. Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions about yin and yang? Yeah? Okay.
No, I have one for the one before.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can go first and it's better.
You can go first. I already asked. You can go first.
Okay. But, so I was then it right that you think that's like only through suffering we learn.
Yes.
But then is it not better if somebody went through this pain already?
Yeah.
And then everybody can teach him, or like in this situation,
Yes.
it's better to support him so he doesn't have to go through the pain. And then
For sure.
development is way more faster.
Yeah. And I think that's what all the prophets tried to do. They tried to teach. And it's not only the prophets. Everybody is trying to teach in some way what we know. But let's say a 12-year-old little boy comes and asks me, I'm 40 years old, says, tell me what love is. He's asking about love with an L capital, not just the love of a child, but love. I can give him 10 volumes of an encyclopedia to read. I can maybe even read it to him. He's not going to understand shit. He's only 12 years old. He has to live it. And he has to get hurt and feel heartbreak. He has to fall in love. He has to get rejected a time or two. So let's try to teach each other everything. That's what I'm doing here. I'm about to finish a book. I'm going to publish a book in the next 6 months. I've been teaching for 10 years. And I have been taught as well for the past 20 years. Have I understood everything that was told to me the very first time that it was I heard the teacher? Not at all. Most of the teaching, I was not even ready to receive it until only 10 years later. And then when I go back to the teachings from 10 years ago, I go like, oh my God, yes, it was right there. But in that moment, I didn't have the openness or maturity to even listen. So that's why suffering is inevitable. It's built into the mechanism of growth. That's what I've seen. It's not something that can be avoided. Suffering is a part and parcel of maturing. And I'm not saying let's suffer even more, like let's be proud of how much we're suffering every day. Not that. I'm not trying to dramatize suffering. But we learn through not only pain, but the thing is, The truth is, we are already in pain in this moment. The pivot, the thing that changes everything is that us admitting how much we are already in pain, admitting also to ourselves, and turning towards the pain. Turning towards the pain instead of away from it. And seeing God in the pain. Again, not to get lost in the pain. I'm not saying let's get lost in the pain. This is not a soap opera. Life is not to be lived through drama. Life has to be very simple. But we need to turn towards our pain in the simplest and most direct way possible and meet it. For as long as we don't meet our pain, we suffer. In fact, suffering means I am not in touch with my pain. Suffering is a rejection of pain. Suffering is a defense from life. The more I try to push away what's inside of me, the more I suffer. Healing then is to no longer be running away from ourselves. That to me is healing. So when I encounter my pain, I no longer suffer. And I need to learn to go through the pain in a healthy way. And this is what healing is all about. This is what I've been learning in the last 20 years. What does it mean to go through the pain and emerge and learn and grow beyond the pain? What does it mean to digest emotional wounding? Yeah? Any other question about this?
Okay.
Yeah?
We talk about like inner child,
Yes.
inner wound, and itself within every person. Like if they are both of them like agree to go into a relationship that
Yeah.
focus on evolve, focus on mature relationship.
Yes.
So we know that it's gonna be triggered for one another.
A lot of triggers.
Yeah. And how they work if they have this? I have the goal for this mature or elevate relationship, but while they have to trigger each other.
Yeah.
How they work on that.
Yes. And the closer we become to our partner, the more we get triggered and the more we trigger them. It's just because we are closer, right? So I say sometimes in this meeting is that every monogamous relationship, even though it's for two people, is actually a polyamorous affair because there is not only the two, but there is also the child in them. So there's 4 already. I'm not talking about it as a sexual thing, but there's me and the child in me, the wounded child in me that I need to learn how to take care of. It's first of all my responsibility. To take care of the child in me is my fucking responsibility. It's not my girlfriend's responsibility. The same also applies. To take care of the wounded little girl in her, it's her fucking responsibility, not mine. So that means we are not here to be therapists to each other. We are not here to save each other or fix each other. No. We are here to support each other. But I need to make space in my heart for her wounding. I need to make compassionate space in my heart, not only for the child in me, but also for the child in her. Otherwise, anything less than this is not love. Love is this, right? Self-love is that I make space for the wounding of myself. That's self-love, the child in me, who really needs me. Not anybody else needs me today, because today I'm an adult. And I need to open my heart to her wounding. And if she's doing the same, there's a possibility for a beautiful relationship. But this is not easy. First of all, we don't even know the child in us. The child in us remains in the shadow. The child in us remains in the unconscious. So a huge part of the work that I do with people is to help them get in touch with the child in them so that they get to know what the inner child even is. First, we need to get to know this child before we can love this child. Before we can learn to protect this child in us. And the more I get to know my wounding, the more sanely and skillfully and compassionately I can relate to the wounding of everybody else. If I don't know my own fear, how can I be with somebody else's fear? It's impossible. If I don't know my own tears and grief and shame and whatever, jealousy, guilt, how can I hold space for somebody else's? It's impossible. Yeah. So there's a huge mirror between what I have explored and seen within myself, and in that way, how deeply can I bring the same openness to somebody else? Yeah?
Okay, so for example, like, oh, both of us realize, like, oh, I'm triggered and you are triggered by me, so what are you going to do?
Oh, in the moment. What do we do in the
like,
moment?
Both of us realizing, like, oh, I'm triggering your pain body,
Yeah.
you're triggering my pain body, so what we do?
I think labeling that in the moment, let's say you say, I feel really triggered right now. Or you could make it even more clear. You can say, I feel frustrated right now. You can really name it even more specifically. Because this is a practice as well, to name things very specifically. Clear communication. And so in clear communication, you can say, I'm so pissed off right now. I feel so angry. And then you stop. And then your partner maybe says, and right now I feel so hurt. Okay, great. There's no finger pointing. There's no criticizing here, shaming or blaming of each other. You're just transparently saying, this is what's happening in me right now. Great. And I think in that moment, very skilled couples, they take a breath and maybe they go for a walk. They just kind of let things settle. But it's not easy because the child in us will try to will try to get something, right? And you did this and 2 weeks ago and it's the same. Like the whole drama will come. And if the drama starts and if I can become aware that the drama started, I can say, hey, like we're just really going into that old pattern again. Why don't we just sit here for a moment? We could maybe even close our eyes and meditate together for 10 minutes. Or with open eyes, maybe we just do eye gazing for 5 minutes. Just see that this is a person I'm in love with. You know, because from the child in me, this is a person I need to destroy. In this moment, I'm feeling so angry. Or this is a person who just hurt me like nobody ever did. Like drama, drama, drama. But if I can just slow down and look into her eyes, I can reconnect with my heart that I'm still in love with this person. And if she's doing the same, then somehow we are going back to connection. And we can drop all the details of who said what and all the drama of how disappointed I feel right now with you. And after connection, maybe an hour later, we can talk about the details of what happened. Because then, at least the first wave of reactivity is gone. Right? And we are our adult selves again. And from the adult, now we can talk. I'm sorry I called you this. I'm sorry that I looked at you, like whatever. Or maybe I was really harsh in that moment when I said this to you. I'm sorry. Repair. We start repairing. Yeah. If none of this is possible and if none of it works, then you do a couple session with someone like me. Yeah. Because we need support. We really need a lot of support. Yeah. I always say to people, get as much support as you can. We are not supposed to know all this or do all this. Just like when my car breaks down, I take it to the mechanic. I don't try to suddenly try to learn everything about a car so that I can fix it myself. Yeah. Because there's so much nuance. There's so many moving pieces in all this. My wounding from the past and the child in me and how I speak in this moment and then the whole thing in them. There's a whole universe here. There's a whole universe there. Everything is really complicated. Yeah. Okay. You wanted to ask something?
Yeah. You can like give some examples or elaborate more and the difference between like trying to fix
our partner.
being the therapist itself,
Yeah.
or just what do you say? Like being
Like holding space and just being. Being. That's it right there. One word, being. Yeah. So in my experience, if my fears are getting activated, the fear about Maybe she doesn't like me. Is she abandoning me? Am I being treated badly? Whatever. If all these fears are coming up, then I'm going to have the temptation to try to control my partner. And I might even try to do that in the disguise of trying to help her. I want to help her with her shit so that she can love me better. But maybe she doesn't need that, right? Maybe I'm actually trying to control the moment, the situation, her, trying to control myself. So the more deeply that I've been looking at my own fears, the less that I try to control when I'm dating or even with a family member, right? All these things, or in a relationship. And so then we can let's say we go with the relationship example, we can let our partner suffer. This doesn't mean we're a bad person or we enjoy them suffering, but we can give our partners the right to their own pain without trying to take it away. This is something very important. Because pain is something that she needs to work with and learn from. Not only that I cannot take someone else's pain away, that I also even should never try it. I can stay compassionate. If I'm asked, I can give advice. But each person has their own, we all each have our own learning to do. And that learning is ours to do, and ours alone. Within that learning, we can receive support. But I cannot learn for somebody else. And I should never try to take away somebody's learning. So then all we are left with is being, presence, and love. Because love in its depth, in its beauty, is actually space. Love is space. When I feel spacious inside, when I check in, I'm always connected with my heart. Because my heart being open empties my mind. If my heart is not open, then the energy is stuck up here. Thinking. I don't feel spacious. If this is open, the energy is circulating in my system. That's why I feel spacious. My mind is open. Thoughts come and go, they don't get stuck. So from this openness, I can ask my partner, I can say, is there anything you would like from me? And maybe she'll say, yeah, I feel like I'm really close to tears. Can you hold me? Okay, I can hold you. Yeah, I'll hold you. I'll hold you as you're crying. This is not about trying to take away her pain. This is about being a life partner. Partner in everything, right? In joy and in pain. That means I show up and I stay there. Hopefully not 5 hours every day. Yeah. But this is one way that we can show up, right, for the people in our lives. And if I have an incredibly busy day and I can say, look, I only have 20 minutes right now and I'm here to listen to you. And I'm only going to listen. And I'm not going to interrupt you. Okay, tell me. Tell me, so that she gets to share and there's a compassionate listener, a compassionate witness who does not try to fix. She's just saying, talking. Yeah. Yeah.
This goes to boundary where, for example, if I see someone like really care about suffering them, I suffer with them. So I think
Yeah.
it's like, how do you build that boundary of like, oh, this is how much of time and space that you're suffering.
Yes.
Mine, because sometimes when you live together and you're really close, it's hard to separate.
Without making it ours. And the more deeply that we heal, the more we have clear boundaries and we don't confuse somebody else's emotions as ours. And then it's very clear what's mine and what belongs to them. I've been working with clients for 10 years. The more deeply that I heal, the easier it is to not take on their suffering. Yeah. But and the more grounded I become.
So you have to hear yourself first. That's the answer.
For sure. Yeah. The inner work that we all need to do on ourselves is the biggest task in the world. And sometimes it can feel like a full-time job. It's not easy at all. Not at all an easy thing. I never say to people, this is something easy. No. Adulting, right? Adulting is not easy. And our world has become so much more confusing in the past 20 years. And our world has become so much worse in the past 20 years. Also, in some ways. And maybe so much better in some other ways. But we live in a very complicated world. Yeah?
I came to your class because I think I'm the biggest player in intimacy.
So, in intimacy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, there's an old saying that if a woman fall in love, her intelligence will become zero. And if
Sorry,
a man-
what did you say?
intelligence, IQ.
Okay. If a woman falls in love, you said?
Yeah.
Her IQ
IQ will become zero.
will become 0.
Yes.
Okay.
And the man fall in love, his IQ will become more than 100.
100.
So, you know, sometimes I'm afraid that I will lose my mind and because I'm, like you said, think too much and I
Okay.
can take advantage of my intelligence.
Hmm.
So if I in a close relationship, I may feel I get lost because I can't use my become more rational lady.
Okay.
And you know, in lots of movie or film, famous movie, it shows the lady will not have good consequence finally if her lose her mind. So I'm afraid about that.
Okay.
So every time I just push my partner away. And it's also told from a healer that this is my phenomenon. But sometimes I felt that I don't know love very much.
Yeah.
But from my childness, like you said, I show deep empathy
Empathy.
from strangers.
Yeah.
Like my healer told me that I really know what love is because for the stranger I will pay money to them or I will help them. But for some people close to me, I just
It's more difficult.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more difficult for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel I lost my mind and I will push the guy away.
So I want to say something about emotions and rationality. Emotions are intelligent too, in a different way than the mind, than the intellect. So what we want is, we want to explore emotions so well that we understand their intelligence. Emotions, in their healthy functioning, they are our relational navigation system. And they are a very deep compass. And they are messengers. And they have their own wisdom. But we need to dig deep to understand each emotion. And really learn to listen to their wisdom. Right? And so then we have our emotions and we have our rational mind working together. That's wholeness. That's us in touch with all our capacities. And we want all of this intelligence work together. The mind, the head, the heart's intelligence, and the power, hara, the power here. The guts, courage, power, heart, sensitivity, openness, love, empathy, and also clear seeing. You know, when the head opens up, the mind opens up, we see things very clearly. So clarity, sensitivity, empathy, and heart, and power, fire, they can all work together. This is us living in wholeness. And then life becomes very simple. I don't like something that a friend of mine does. I say, hey, you know what? When you said this yesterday, I didn't like that. Okay? We're talking. We're engaged. Life is simple. I like a friend, I call them more often. I don't like another one, I don't call them. Like, quick, you know, like not too much drama. Because when we heal deeply, energy begins to move without getting stuck in our system. From all the centers. It's moving and moving continuously. So this is what happens through a lot of healing. And ideally also with spiritual practice. I always advocate for psychological healing and spiritual practice together. Because we are as much as psychological beings, emotional beings, as much as we are spirit in human form. Yeah. So this is like a big general answer to what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to accept the feelings of insecurity because
Yes.
in my childhood I suffered a lot
Mm-hmm.
and I have broken through a lot, like you said.
Yeah.
And nowadays I become, I think, really strong, like a lot of people admit. But I think I need to face my feelings directly, and when I'm in a close initiated relationship, I need to accept. I don't know how to say that. The doubt or the insecurity.
Insecurity.
From mine,
Yeah.
because from my childhoodness, I feel it's unsafe.
It's unsafe. Yeah.
But when I connect with myself and the board, the sky, air, flower, the air, the forest, the sunshine, I feel so secure.
Yeah.
So for myself, I prefer to stay alone instead of find some life partner. Although some life partner really give me, I appreciate their support and their,
Mm-hmm.
how to say,
Yeah, well, there are different seasons in our lives, right? Sometimes being alone, unpartnered, is a beautiful thing to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
that. So I think maybe I'm not a common woman. I'm
A lot of women choose being unpartnered for at least a little while these days, and men too. Yeah, because the healing that we can do in a short time, sometimes when we are not partnered, can have a different depth and quality than when we are partnered. Especially if there's trauma to work on, because if I'm partnered and if I'm also in the very difficult times of my healing, things can feel like too much. Yeah, too much happening, and then it gets overwhelming. Yeah. So another thing that you shared that I really liked is that you said, I don't know what love is. That's a beautiful place to be, because love is not for the mind to somehow understand. The most intelligent thing we can say is, I don't know what love is. And then finally we are open to what might be, right? So to what love might be.
But I have this question. I already have this answer because my healer reminded me that when I show empathy to any stranger, that's love.
Yeah.
And I really believe I already have love. I don't need to search anywhere to find love. Because
Exactly.
I already full of love
Yeah.
in my heart. So I feel I become more powerful.
Yes. And yeah, we can even think about that in a spiritual way. We can say that life or creation is the full expression of God's love.
Yeah.
Everything is love. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Even the war, even the hatred we have inside, or fear, or jealousy, no matter what, it's all love. All of it. Inside, outside, up and down and right and left, all of it is love. The very fabric of creation is love. Yeah. So of course we're looking for love too, because we are love. We know what it is deep down at a soul level, and we want to live it fully through our humanity. But for that we have a lot of healing to do, each of us, regardless of age. We have a lot of healing and awakening to do, so that our humanity can become completely suffused with this love of life for itself, right? So now we're going to do a practice about love. So think about in this moment, what is sacred intimacy for you? In a relationship, in a romantic relationship, what is it for you in this moment? A week later, you might have a different idea about it. But right in this moment, what is sacred intimacy for you? And how can it look like in a romantic relationship? So each person will have 4 minutes, and you're going to pair up. When you reflect, you're going to... What is sacred intimacy for you in the context of a romantic relationship? How does it look like? And what is it and what is it not? Maybe what is it not is also really important. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a chance to have two partners. It's amazing.
Yeah, great.
And not on my own things, but when I was listening to them, what came up, it's nice that we need the tools to connect, and there's some of the talk like we touched a little tantric tools, for example, the breathing, connect the breath, connect the
Yeah.
eye contact, connect the connection, the grow energy exchange with each other.
Great.
And another thing what came up, it's the most important self-connection, connection to yourself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Self-love
Yes.
here before you love someone
Yeah.
else.
It's really huge, right? Yeah. Yeah. You know, the way that I see it is that if I'm not connected inside, because my connection with myself is my bridge to my heart. If that bridge is not there, and another heart is trying to reach my heart, that's not possible. Because I'm not reaching my own. I am the bridge between the inside and the outside. If I don't feel connected within, how can I even allow the love from the outside to hit me, to come to me in my heart? I think this is impossible.
You blocked.
Sorry?
You blocked.
We are locked. We are closed. Yeah. I'm close to myself. From that place, I cannot be open to somebody else. Yeah. 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 Any other sharing or questions? Yeah?
So to me, sacred intimacy is, first of all, you have that self-understanding, and then the other person really truly see you as who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You understand your current situations, your challenges, struggle, your ambition, your love.
Yeah.
They see different sides of you. They have that fundamental understanding of you, and then they hope the best for you. Like they don't want. Sometimes we talk about like relationships. There are a lot of times, especially monogamy relationship. You have that. It's like you have exclusive right to that person. And then
Yeah.
sometimes we'll.
It becomes codependent.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with exclusivity, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Not saying
Yeah.
wrong, but then it could be like there's a level of control because whatever
For
your
sure.
decision, your
For sure.
needs and wants impact the other person.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes hard to reach that balance, and
I think it's very difficult to reach that balance. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Because that's sacred monogamy. And sacred monogamy is not a relationship that the world knows about. In our world today, we don't know sacred monogamy. We don't know. We are clueless about it. We know codependency very well. We know polyamory more and more, right? The open things, this and that. But we don't know so much what is it to create an actual beautiful thing out of monogamy. Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible. Yeah.
So to me, it's like you know this person, and then you want the best for them, despite the fact that that decision might lead you to part ways.
Yes.
You support them in whichever way you could. Sometimes you just do nothing, let them go.
Yeah. That's love, right? Yeah.
Love. But then I feel like this is not necessary in a romantic setting. Like it applies to every like friendships and
For sure.
families and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else who would like to share something or ask? Yeah.
Yes. Everyone is like, looking at each other as the same manifestation of God,
Mm.
with the wounds, with masks, and look them with compassion. Look my partner with everything that I have, that I bring here. Look her in that way as well.
Yeah.
And then, bring compassion.
Yeah. Sounds beautiful. That sounds like sacred intimacy to me. 2 thumbs up. Yeah, great. How does it feel for you when you tune into that energy?
Easy to write it.
Easy to write about it. Yeah, totally, right? Yeah.
Think about it, but
Yeah.
it's very time.
Yeah. I think that, again, like love is our greatest adventure, but also the greatest difficulty. Yeah. Because if we want the heart to open, to really open, we're talking about the heart opening to everything. It cannot be selective. That's the old story of humanity. Yeah, it has to be open all the way. And that hurts. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so the heart opening hurts. Yeah. And yet Jesus is pointing to his heart. Right? He talked about that. And also Jesus' heart is in flames. And there is thorns around it. And it's bleeding. This is what we're talking about. Because the opening of the heart fucking hurts. In whatever context. Social context and activism and relationship and self-love. Everything. It hurts. Because we have to move through pain for the heart to open again. Just like in childhood. But now as an adult. Much deeper. Much more wisdom. There's more wisdom in it. Yeah, because a child is helpless. Yeah. So, and the flames, right? The way that I see his teaching is the passion. Yeah. The heart and the power center. The fire. The passion. Jesus is an activist. Profound activist. So that's the fire too, I think. And we need that in the world today, I think, in our relationships, so that with the fire we can cut through bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit in the world to cut through, within and in our relationships and in society. So we also need to learn to also be able to express healthy fire. Healthy fire is also healthy anger. Healthy anger is my healthy no. No, you cannot treat me like that. No, I don't want it. You know, like, leave me alone. That healthy no. Yeah, so all of this stuff. Yeah. So we are looking at getting in touch with our humanness, with our humanity, at every level of all the capacities, right? All of it. Just like you said, seeing the one thing, seeing this, seeing that, the good, the bad, the ugly. We look at all of it. And we can see God there, not to excuse toxic behavior, but to mature beyond it. We still have to keep each other responsible from unhealthy behaviors. Just because I see God in a serial killer doesn't mean I need to invite him for dinner. Right? So, right? There are so many layers of all this. Yeah. And I love this. I love talking about this because to me this is life. I love talking about life. I love talking about relationships. And if you enjoyed this, something you can do to support me is to find me on Instagram and follow me. That is something you can do if you like to support this work, because these algorithms, whatever, they really matter. And in something like maybe another 3 months to 6 months, I'm going to publish my book that I've been writing for a little while now. And all of this is in it. And I share things on socials as well, YouTube videos. Like when you look at my website and go to YouTube, you'll be able to access this and many other 1 full hour recordings from this. Every week I'm here for, on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. So, and in every meeting, it's slightly different because different questions are asked. There is a different interaction. Yeah. So, great to see men coming to these meetings as well. Yeah, I really love seeing men here. Yeah, and thanks for everyone who came. Yeah, enjoy Ubud and the crazy weather here. Every 5 minutes you don't know what's going to happen. Is it really hot or is it going to rain now? Like,